Hi guys, welcome back. Today, let's talk about negotiation. Did you know that there are four top negotiators in the world? Nelson Mandela, Theodore Roosevelt, Henry Kissinger, and Warren Buffett. I guess they all have a few things in common to be labeled as the best negotiators of all time. If you're a salesperson like myself, if you're in sales, whether you're face to face, telemarketing, B2B, B2C, or a small business owner, welcome to my channel. I hope you get a lot of value from my channel where I share a lot of my sales principles, sales techniques, inspiration, personal experience as a salesperson, as a customer. We all learn every day. It's been such a great ride for me to set up this channel, and I hope you're able to look into my playlist as well and find what is going to be useful for you there. After all, whatever is on my playlist is free for you to use. So let's get into it. Today, we want to talk about negotiation. Negotiation, as defined, is simply process of reaching beneficial agreement. Very simple, sounds very basic, but salespeople, this is one of the skills we need to master. Perhaps you want to learn it first and then you master it. So what I want to share with you is a few things that I've picked from the Art of Negotiation book that I've just recently read, and I thought this is going to be a good topic to share on my video. After all, even if I've been in sales for 2.5 decades, I still have to pick up few ideas and learn and basically get better. So I hope you're going to like today's training session. So there are some tips from this book that I've read, which I thought, okay, that makes sense. So let me break it down to you. Tip number one, know your boundaries. Know your boundaries when you are negotiating. A lot of salespeople can have the tendency to get overwhelmed with the pressure to close the sale and basically overlooking their boundaries. Whether it's throwing a lot of extras just to close the sale, only to be with a client who's not happy with that and would say, look, I want more. You're giving me more, I want more. Keep in mind that the more you give to a client, chances are they're going to ask for more. So this is a very simple and classic example with this point number one, which is know your boundaries. Because if you actually get yourself trapped in a situation where it's no longer a negotiation, it's basically buying the sale from your prospect, it's actually not a win-win situation for you. Another tip when you are negotiating for that sale, know where you need to be. Know where you need to be. It's very self-explanatory, but my job is to remind you of self-explanatory things, because when you are in the midst of sales presentation or closing or overcoming objection, you can really lose your position in the negotiation process. So just imagine there's two of you, or maybe there's multiple decision makers that your prospect have to consult, or there's two in their team that needs to decide together, which makes it a lot harder for you. And so really understanding where you need to be is another reminder on how you can execute a very good negotiation. Meaning to say, you could be speaking to three people, three decision makers. Just know where you need to be in that whole negotiation, which is really to get that business. Third tip, keep it simple. You want to make sure that you keep it simple. When you keep the negotiation simple, it doesn't create or add stress to you. Let's start with you first. The more you complicate the negotiation, the more it becomes tougher for you because you are the one selling. So keep it simple. Just really keep it simple. Short, sweet, and simple. Number 4, have a backup option. Very important. Remember the previous video that I've posted about sales strategies for Q2, where we talked about mastering sales objection. What did I say there? Don't just have one way to overcome the same objection. Have at least 3 ways to overcome that objection. Same thing with negotiation. You gotta have backup plan. You gotta have backup option or options. And therefore the saying goes, if you fail to prepare, you're already prepared to fail. So really be a prepared salesperson before you see your prospect. Tip number 5. It's all about creating advantage. Negotiation is all about creating advantage. Your advantage, you create it. Because your prospect, the buyer, we are buyers. We are there to take advantage whatever we can from whatever we're putting our dollars into. Plain and simple. Number 6, benchmarks. Set an expectation. Very important to know as a negotiator that there is a benchmark that you are in charge of and you are in control of. Set an expectation. Very, very important. Number 7. This is a good one. Hope I can really get my thoughts all together on this part. Anchoring approach. Have you heard of this restaurant anchoring approach? They usually use this in the restaurant or perhaps in a lot of places. But let's just use the restaurant as an example, the restaurant menu for that matter. So on the restaurant menu, say you go fine dining or you go to a nice restaurant, on the menu you'd see, for example, $100 for, let's say, Australian oyster, for example. And then the first on the menu would be $1,000 oyster from France. Below that is $100 oysters from Australia. So you as a dining guest, you're looking at the menu and you're saying, okay, $1,000 for oysters, $100 for oysters. I mean, unless you're super rich and you would like to spend $1,000 for a plate of oysters, go for it. But what that means is basically positioning these 2 options to the buyer is a very mild way of negotiating with the dining guest, only in the form of the menu. So understand that at the end of the day, whether you ordered $1,000 or $100, the restaurant has already prepared that either of the 2 that you choose, they are on a win-win situation. Think of it within your package, how you can actually use that method, how you can somehow use that on your negotiation skill. I'm sure you've done a few negotiation practices. Leave in the comment below if you want to share to us. Maybe we can learn from you as well. Number 8, caveat. A certain clause or condition that is applied to the client. Really understand the caveat. This is a very important thing you need to know and understand if you want to be good in your negotiation with your client. Be bold it's okay to be bold. I think this is I'm just inserting few things from the top of my head that are not here in my notes that I gathered from the book. Be bold, but also not pushy, and really understand that negotiation is not a competition of who is more pushy, who's more confident, who is more aggressive. Negotiation could be effective even if even if you are the most calm salesperson. So really understand that negotiation, it goes hand in hand with the words, your body language, the facts, and yourself, your demeanor. These are all together in one package. Another tip I want to share with you is you need to also have full understanding of the clause and identify all areas of the pain points of your client. You just need to really understand the pain points of your prospect, and that would help you understand and navigate your way to use your negotiation skills. Negotiation skills doesn't have to be always defensive. You don't necessarily have to be on the defense or on the offense. You have to really find the right balance between the two by really knowing the pain points of your client. Next one. There has to be a deal period. Negotiation cannot go longer than planned. You cannot prolong the negotiation. You cannot say, we're dealing now and I'm negotiating with you now, and then I'll speak to you next week, and then we're on the same conversation, and then we're still renegotiating for another week and another week and another week. There has to be a deal period, and that should come from you as a salesperson. And where do you derive that from? Well, you derive that from his needs. How urgent does he need the product? And that should be your guiding light, if you may, to really know the deal period. But this needs to be communicated. You need to communicate the deal period with your client on your first meeting as you try to do the negotiation with him or her. Deal period in terms of payment schedule, exclusivity, the contract, all the things that you know are very important information for him to be aware of, to push that negotiation, to push that decision as soon as possible. And so, in closing, I feel that salespeople should not just focus on selling, but also negotiating, because these are two different things. You could be selling and not really have the need to negotiate. You could also be selling and negotiating at the same time and still failing on getting the sale. So really find your way to navigate your strengths and weaknesses as a salesperson. Personally, as a sales coach, this is what I offer on my website. If you've not been aware of, if you haven't checked my website, I do offer courses, customized courses for different types of salespeople, different types of businesses and industries, and this will help you also navigate your ways, whether you're really tapping on your strength as a salesperson or as a small business owner, and it's all going to be based on your business. Everything is an individual thing. I don't believe that there's a one size fits all in sales. Yes, there's a certain rule. Yes, there's a certain principle, but there are so many ways where you can work your way around it and transfer this to that. And so I hope you enjoyed today's session. Please feel free to check out my website. It's all in my channel description. If you're interested to be part of my class, I'm happy to meet you. Drop me an email. I'll see you on the next training session. I hope you enjoyed today's topic. I think it's a great refreshment and something to get you pumped up for your KPI for Q2. See you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.